Just want to show you what's going on outside here. Look at that. Gravel on the road. Finally. Snow's melting. Birds are out chirping. Ice is melting and deteriorating from the shore. And we have the sun out. What does that mean? That means spring is here. Riding season on our motorcycles is just around the corner, so stay tuned for that. So let's go back in my garage, continue with the video, check out what it's about. Guys, Terry here from Georgian Bay Rider. Welcome back to the channel. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment down below. It'll help my channel. Just starting out, so every little bit helps. Today's video is about inspection on your bike before you take it out for the first ride in the spring, early summer. I know lots of people, and I've done it before. Put the battery in, charge it up, and take off, go for your first ride of the season. So we'll get right to it, and we'll start from the front, work our way to the back, and we'll go through what I check, and anybody else has any other things that I've missed, leave a comment down below. I'm going to start off right at the front here. I'm going to check the wear and tear on the tire, the tread, check for screws or nails in the tire itself. You want to check the pressure of your tires, front and back. I think that's a lot of people kind of leave that, and I check mine once a week. So yeah, the tread. Check your owner manual too. It has stuff in there to check as well. I have spokes on mine, some bikes don't, but I'll go around with my hand and check, make sure there's no loose, no breaks in the spokes itself. Check the rims for any anything that's going to stand out. I flip the tire around, make sure there's no warping. Take your brake discs, the bolts on it, on both sides. I've got dual brakes on this bike. And up close here, I'll just show you, you can check your brakes inside there. I would just put a flashlight in there and check the pads for thickness and stuff. So, fender, make sure the bolts on the fender are secure. Check that out. So guys, working my way up here from the headlights. Make sure you got no cracks in the headlights and stuff there. It seems all good. And then I work away at the windshield. Make sure it's on solid. Check these screws here on either side. And obviously clean it. Signal lights. So on the headlights, I'll do the high beam, that's low beam, high beam, right signal. You can see it on the camera working. Left signal, that's working. And then I'll do the back later on. Moving around to the inner fairing. So these screws up here, there's a few screws in here that I always check. My old 2020 bike, this one here would always fall out, but it seems like Harley's got wise to that, and I don't have any issues with these here as well. So all these here is checked down, all those bolts there. The vent, make sure it's working fine. Glove box, keep all your money in, wallet. Gas tank, make sure that's working properly. I have a phone station here. It's on solid. Check all your throttle, mirrors, all your controls on and off. Entertainment center, you might want to brush up on that. I've got a good memory, but it's short, so usually try to go over that again, inputting destinations and stuff like that. So using your iPhone on it. Same with that, the mirrors. So I would just sit on the bike before you take off anywhere, get your mirrors adjusted, and you should be all good. And then we'll work our way down to the engine compartment. Okay, working our way down to the engine part. Foot pegs, check those out. I've had those come loose. I hit a bump going across 17 on my 2020 and down it went. So check that, make sure they're solid. Bolts up here on the top of the engine. This bolt here, I check. These heat shields on the mufflers, there's a little screw in the back there, you can see it. I make sure they're tight. Nothing worse than something rattling. All these bolts in here, so I just check all the bolts that are all around. They're all Allen keys usually. Air box, I'll take that apart and clean it. Soak that in soapy water for a few hours and then blow it out with my air hose and stuff. Gas tank, just make sure that bolt's secure on that. Bolt in here, you might want to check. Transmission and oil, I'd be checking that. This one's due for an oil change before I take it out, so I'm going to be doing that. I may do a video on that as well. Undercarriage, I check the undercarriage, make sure you got no leaks. Just check for all that hoses and stuff. So in here, there's some more nuts and bolts up in here off the side cover. I've got the side cover and saddlebags off so you can see this. They're sitting over there. Yeah, so just working our way back. Just check these bolts here. These bolts here usually sometimes come loose. Brakes in the back here, check, get a flashlight again for those. Check the pad, the disc rotor here. Tire, same thing as the front. I just wheel it around and make sure it's got the proper air in it. Spokes, check for anything on the rims and check, make sure it's kind of balanced as well. These aren't the standard shocks that came with the bike. These are called Super Shocks. I bought them for my old 2020 and put them on. So you want to check the bolts on that and the springs. Make sure you don't have any broken springs. All these bolts in here. Those shocks there are amazing shocks. I may do a video on it. I've had them on my 2020 for a couple of years and put them back on here because they said they would fit, and they did. So working our way around, if you have a beer box or a tour pack, you would check underneath here. This one's a quick release, so you want to check underneath there. Make sure the latches are in properly. So guys, I'm going to check the back signal lights. Right side first. See that on the GoPro. There. Left side working. Pedal brake on. Front brake on. So all the lights are working. Under my license plate, lights are working. I won't put the four ways on right now. those lights are working. The four-ways should be working. So guys, I'm just checking the back tire here. Just spinning it around, make sure there's no nails or screws or anything like that. Check the tread. If you look in your owner's manual, you'll see how to check that. And doesn't seem to be warped or anything, so seems okay there. So working our way around to the left side at the back of the bike. Again, shocks on this side, check those out. Check the bolts on here. All these bolts I check. The muffler, again, these bolts for the muffler. Heat shield. There's another screw underneath there. You can see it and a nut on it. Check that out. Your belt, you want to check for any wear or any damage on it. So I just rotate it around, make sure you got all your teeth in there. Check that out. On the other side cover, on the left side, you got your rider's foot peg, your passenger rider foot pegs. This is your main fuse in here. I always carry a spare for that. I'll tell you a little story about that later. And same with these, all the bolts, all your derby cover bolts on here, Allen keys on here, hoses in the back here, check those out, make sure you have no leaks. I have, this here is my battery tender where I hook it up. Spark plug wires, check those all out, make sure they're on solid and no cracks or any wear or tear on those. This one's a fairly new bike, so I shouldn't. Linkage, make sure these bolts here especially are on secure. I had this nut and bolt come off of me on my 2020 and ended up having to shift gears with my hand. I was about 3 hours from home from a bike trip. So yeah, make sure they're good. Shifter, other foot pegs here. My bike's liquid cooled, so check the reservoir for the proper fluid there, and leaks down in here. And then same side, or the same thing on this side for your interfering screws. Checked all those out. A mirror on this side, and then down in here is where your battery is, so you want to make sure that you check to make sure it's not corroded or anything in there. You can see it down in there. My finger, that's the positive. I'd have to take all this off, and I won't do it right now, but to check that. Some people put dielectric grease in there to help that and make sure they're tight. Another thing to do, guys, is check your clutch adjustment. Make sure that's all good. You can start it up and let it run and go through some gears. So guys, I've got a little stand here that I put the bike on. It's got wheels on it. I'll maybe do a video on it, or I thought I did, but I can't find it anywhere. So that's the stand there, made by Let's Roll Cruiser. See that there? Awesome stand. Put it on there and you can just wheel it around. So I'll maybe do a video on that. Other thing is I've got my seat, side covers and saddlebags. Here I took it off just so we could go through and you can see what I'm looking at for the back here, shocks and all that stuff when I did the inspection and stuff. So I have it off, so there's stuff in there that you might want to check. Stand by. So on my saddlebag, I open that up and check all the screws in here. These speakers, I've had a couple screws come loose here, especially on this hinge part here, the cloth type. These things here can come loose. I've had that on my old bike. The hinge at the back, you want to check. This here, latch, you might want to check on both sides. wire, make sure nothing's been pinched in there. I've had one of these wires come off for whatever reason, vibration or whatever. So just food for thought to check that. That's where the speakers and everything plug into there. Seat, nothing really to say about it. That's check out my video on it. I just put that on. It's probably got 5,000 or 6,000 kilometers on that seat. So once that's put on, make sure it's screwed down really good. So guys, I'm just going to go over what I have in my saddlebag that I carry all the time. I'm just going to go over a few things on it that I think you should keep on your bike at all times as well. So another safety thing. So toolkit. This is made by CruzTools, RoadTech it's called. And I carry that in the saddlebag. It's got all the little rag there, spark plug, wrench, air pressure gauge, adjustable vice grips, a bunch of small 8mm and 7/16 wrench, Allen keys, screwdriver, some zip ties, a little piece of wire, and a few more little sockets on it. So it's something to carry around that you should have. I know I bike with a few guys lots, and they have nothing. They don't expect they're gonna break down, I guess. So other thing is pressure compressor, a little compressor I have for your tire if you get a flat. UABRLA, you pronounce it. Anyways, that's the little compressor I have that just screws on to here, and make sure it's charged up before you leave, and presso, you're good to go. One other thing I carry as well is a tire patch kit. I have just actually got it last summer. I never really had one, and a buddy of mine, Mike, got stranded in Quebec with a flat tire. This kit wouldn't have helped because it got a slice in it, but it's got everything on it that you need. The plugs, that's to ream it out. And then you got some cutting pliers in here, a little knife to cut it off. There's lots of videos out there, guys, that you can check out on how to do that. I can always do that too, but there is lots out there. So a guy, I think John at Cycle Fanatic, I saw it on one of his videos. So good to have. And 2-lane life, they got stranded on the highway, and that helped them out. Other thing is, guys, I keep this in my bike all the time, the owner's manual. So have it with you. You may need it. I've used it lots of times. It's a must to have on your bike. We had a tip over in Laconia last year on this bike, and looked it up in here and got the bike going as well. So good thing to have. Other thing is your ownership insurance. Make sure you have that tucked away somewhere. Mr. OPP would like to see that, so make sure it's up to date. There is an app that I have through TD Insurance that is right on your phone, so you don't have to take this out all the time. I can show them on the phone. Key fob, battery for your key fob. I change it every year regardless. I have a spare. I'll change that out as well. I don't know how long these batteries last, but I'll change that out. They're easy to carry, so It's not a big deal to have spare batteries. I have them in my tickle trunk right here. Some guys have got stranded on what third bikes I've been with, and we ended up having to, I had a battery here, or we had to go down to find a store that had batteries in it. So that's a pain in the butt. So carry it with you, change it every year, irregardless. If you think it's all right, I change it. So anyways, that's all I had. Oh, one other thing, rain suit. Don't forget your rain suit. Whether it's sunny out when you leave, it could be raining when you get back. So last but not least, wash it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Any comments down below, anything you want to see, let me know. Appreciate it all, you guys watching. Hope you watched it to the end. Hope it wasn't too boring. So other than that, have a safe ride for the summer. Do your bike trip checks before you go out, and enjoy the summer. Rubber side down. Hope to see you on the highway.